Hey everyone, welcome to tonight's moose watching vlog. I'm gonna just drive around for a bit, see if we can see anything. I already seen, I think, 4 of them. The reason I say I think 4 of them is because I saw 2 in the road, then I saw another one up in the distance, and it went around the corner. When I caught up to it, it seemed a bit smaller, so I think it's not the same one I ended up seeing in that area. Roads are pretty smooth today. A couple washouts up in northern Maine. This is the first time I've been up here this year, and a lot of river erosion. Lots of rivers, their banks are moved so far. I saw a couple buildings teetering into a river. This road's usually flooded. Are we gonna have Beaver issues this year? We're gonna find out right now. Objects making too much noise. I don't know. It's bothering me personally. Ooh. That was a bad one. That culvert back there got lifted up out of the ground in a frost heave. Then it got settled back down, leaving a big hole. Or I should say it's more of a trench across the road. Right around this corner. Are we gonna have Beaver issues this year? Not yet. But I have a feeling it's coming. Yeah. There's no evidence of beavers this year. Nope. Not yet. That culvert's wide open. I also don't think they're relocated. They just don't live there. It's a secondary pond. So I think they'll be back eventually. It was a stormy year. Is the Bear Road gonna be open? I'm gonna take the Bear Road. And this will go in a big loop back to the main road that I was just on at the beginning of the video. If it goes through, as long as there's no trees across the road today. The other road there, I could have kept going straight for about 2 miles and it ends. We'll come up here instead. This is more exciting, this road. This road here will have some swamps we can go through. More likely to see a moose, I think, before it gets dark. Tomorrow we'll be driving around a bit further in the wilderness. Right now I just want to drive in these areas I haven't been in a little bit. Careful hitting bumps like that back there. It sounds like something's loose in the front end, but I could not figure out what it was. Don't see anybody else's tracks out here this year. We'll encounter a good amount of mud. Hopefully we don't have to use the winch now that it's starting to get dark. moose. They're most active in the spring when it first starts getting warm like this. Around dusk, they love to be walking around. This time of year, they could be out probably any time of day. You're more likely to see them at dusk though. In the summer, you're unlikely to see moose in this area these days. When I was a kid, they'd be everywhere no matter what time of year, but now they only seem to be around a lot this time of year. Getting a little bit muddy. Hearing too many random noises of things moving around in here. It's very difficult to do anything about that. Also, the camera makes a little clicking sound when it goes over lots of bumps. I found out I can't do anything about that either. It's literally the optical lens moving around inside the camera. Slipping a little bit right there. Hear all the mud getting sprayed up inside the wheel wells now. Here's more good mud. Go slow through this. There looks like a rock in that puddle. Very active groundwater trickling here. Ooh, more puddles. Go into four-wheel drive just in case. Shoulder solid enough. Yeah, run over a few little trees to get around that thing. Now this right here is where I've been stuck in years past, so gotta hit this with a little bit of speed. Hopefully I don't get stuck. Oop. I just hit my front skid plate just a little bit though. That was okay. Alright, if I got through that, this road's not going to be bad. Mud season is just about over. Mud season means that the road is going to be where you could just sink into it because of melting frost heaving. Right now we're driving through the Beaver's pond. The beavers are the ones responsible for this. Right here, hopefully this didn't erode deeper. I forgot about this. The culvert pipe is gone. So okay, it's not that deep. Yeah, the water would be rushing through there during high times of flow. So I was just worried it may have got eroded a little bit deeper, but not a problem. Beavers are already active. I see sticks floating around with the bark removed. They've been eating it. And now we come to the section of road which has been improved about a year ago. Got a tree in the road. Not too bad though, we can go over that one. So this part of the road has had improvements for logging. I wonder if it'll go any further. What's that? Did I get a piece of that stuck underneath? Let's go check. Yep, I was dragging part of that tree. Tree frogs are starting to come out up here. Around my house, they started about 2 weeks ago. They'll go for another month or so. Up here, they're probably just starting to come out. Up here can still get freezes until June 15th, potentially. Probably not, though. But this time of year now, we're in the first week of May, probably we'll get some freezing still in northern Maine. My area, June 1st is when it's considered safe to plant, but I'm thinking about planting in the middle of May this year because it seems like it's going to be warmer. This is another good mud hole area. Would be a lot worse if the ground was still semi-frozen. We're going to take another road that's had a lot of damage over the past couple of years. And there's a bridge out, so we'll go up to that, turn around, come back, then we'll take another road. Hopefully we'll see some moose. Saw a ton of them before I started filming, but that's how it goes. Guarantee we'll see something if I stay out here for like another hour or so. Can almost guarantee I'll see another moose. Very muddy. Drive around for another hour or so. And most moose would be out on the roads because they don't want to walk through the bushes. The road's like a nice wide open trail to them. It's a beautiful part of woods. They didn't cut down any of those red pine trees. I think that's called eastern red pine. They grow really slow. Yep, right here again. I remember taking this road as like a 8-year-old, and yes, the trees definitely got bigger, but it looks nearly identical because they grow so slow. What's this? Deer. There's a deer. There was 2 of them. What's up with all the deer this year? At least we're not going too fast on these logging roads. Always a fun road. Down to the main road. Here we are. They build these roads like ramps. They're usually one ways, these offshoots when they're logging. So it's built like a ramp. The big trucks would probably not make this corner. They definitely wouldn't make that corner where I first turned onto the Bear Road. I don't even think I can make that. I think I have to do a few maneuvers when I make that wrong turn. Now it seems really dark driving through these woods. pretty. Just eats gas if you don't need it. And I gotta conserve fuel if I want to stay out here for a while. Hear that? This truck tells you if you run over the line, the white line or the yellow line on the road, and it thinks one of the tire tracks is a line on the road. That can be shut off, but I found it helpful more than not. It's annoying sometimes, but it's good. It keeps you alert if you were to start drifting off the road. Sometimes has issues. Clogged pipes. Nothing too major though. Last year, this road here, I must have gone through 2 rolls at least of marking tape. There was so many hazards after the winter. But this year, there's a lot of rivers that have tons and tons of erosion damage, but not too many dirt roads washed out compared to last year. And I'm thinking that's because the flooding this year happened more abruptly, meaning the roads didn't have time to thaw, so they were frozen when the flooding happened, and that held them together. That's what it seems to be this year. Not as many washouts. But at the same time, it's weird. There's a lot of rivers that have completely moved. Right here's often a clogged pipe. That's not filled with water this year. To be a good road to drive up and look for moose because there's a swamp, but too overgrown these days. Can't really see in there. And I'm thinking to myself right now, I have a couple of trail cameras out in the wilderness that I put here in the fall, but my brain is slipping. Where are they? There's one I know where it is. I put it underneath a large bridge because I wanted to get a time lapse of the river freezing and then breaking. I don't remember, is it taking just pictures or is it making little, I probably have it programmed to make little video clips, because a time lapse like that, take a picture every 12 hours, or if you make a 5-second video every 12 hours, it makes a huge difference of it going together more smooth. But I'm hoping that camera is still there. It was way, way up on the riverbank. I'll be very surprised if the river got enough to touch that. And there's more cameras out here. I just, at the moment, can't remember where. Swamp I usually use. I'll take a walk down there sometime. We're actually super close to that at the moment. But it's getting dark. We'll come back out here sometime soon and look. That camera's making a different noise now, which I think can be fixed. It just needs like a shim. I'm putting my hand underneath the camera, holding it still, and it's not doing it. Oh wow, the sunset's beautiful. I gotta turn around and show you this. Yeah, take a look at the sunset. It's very, very pretty. Look at that. That's very pretty. Nice. I've been down this road before. It's a dead end. Its only purpose is for logging. It doesn't connect anywhere. Nothing down that road. Maybe we'll get to a higher place where that sunset might even get even prettier. Because we're gaining elevation now. There used to be a beautiful spot. You could see a giant lake. When I was a kid, I'd ride a bicycle down this road. Back then it was a big, wide, 2-lane road. Very, very active logging. One of the clearings on the top of one of these hills, I could see a lake. Now it's pretty grown in. I don't think you can see it anymore. Because the logging company doesn't plant things intentionally, I don't think, like that red pine. Doesn't grow fast enough for profits. They plant things that grow really quickly out here. Mainly balsam fir. Just taking a glance into the swamp we just went by, because there could be moose down in there. Is that a place they like? Trying to think of something I can jam underneath the camera to make it not wiggle in that sense. Can't do anything about the optical shaking, but is this shim enough? Or is this shim itself gonna make noise? We'll see. I haven't really come across any hazards yet that I would flag. Slow it down, look at that. That's gonna have to be replaced. That culvert's way out of the ground. That was probably lifted up by frost heaving, but it's damaged pretty badly. The frost heaving can also put random rocks in the middle of the road that weren't there the following year. They were under the road, but the frost tends to push them up, because when the road freezes, it expands a little, and if there's little rocks, it can push them up to the top. Right here's more rutting. This right here is a bunch of damage. Not too bad. I think we can go over that without an issue. Yeah, it looked worse. I can barely feel it driving over it. Yeah, this road was a river at some point. You can see all that erosion on the left side. This was a full river here. Some mud right there trying to catch me. Ooh. That's a big hole right there. That's probably a culvert that's rotted out. The bottom of it, rust is probably taking it away. That's why there's little holes right there in the road. Right here's a bunch of erosion. That's a very deep rut, actually. Super duper deep. Take a look at this. Yeah, I'm about to drive through something that's at least 8 inches deep. Alright, carefully. I'm just making sure the bottom of that ditch is solid. You never know, you could sink way deeper into that. Okay, we're good. This road has a lot of things. That looks like it was flooded on that side by Beavers, but it could also be it could have been flowing too much, and it could have been more of like a retention area. I'm starting to notice it might become foggy tonight. I'm noticing some fog, low-level fog forming right now. Can you see that on the camera? Yeah, right here we got some fog. Yeah, we got some fog going on, even worse right now. This hill right here, well, it was one year coming out here, it was so eroded that I didn't even want to go any further, so I met up from the other side. Can't do that anymore because the bridge is missing up here now, and they're not going to fix it because they're not actively logging the area at the moment. That hill right there I just drove down. Also, there was one year when I first started driving out here, a rock in the road, probably a quarter the size of a car, pretty substantial, got pushed up slowly, and you could tell that they weren't grading it, they weren't really fixing it, so it probably took a few seasons to get like that, get pushed up that much. It's rare when you see one that big start surfacing into the road, but it was an obstacle, and no matter what you were driving, you had to go around it. So that's probably in my old videos, driving around that. This low-level fog is kind of pretty as I look to the sides. All the tree buds are starting to turn red. Leaves are about to come out. My area, the buds just opened this time of year. Now there's little teeny leaves on all the trees. Not up here. This is another growing season away. Different climate zone completely. The top of Maine. This is that season you're going to start seeing piles of bright red moose poop. That was a soft area of road. Got more fog coming up. Fog is making it a little bit difficult to see. Forest we're about to come into is very pretty. It's going to be a tamarack forest, which is the only pine tree that loses its needles for the winter. Whoa, that came out of nowhere. Bump. Go over real slow. Whoa. Bump. That's a bad one. Bump. Whoa. The back wheel slid a little. It turned the vehicle a little. Did you see that? Because the culvert's put in at an angle. We'll mark that one on the way back, maybe. Now, this road's completely destroyed in many spots. It's pretty obvious that they got to redo the whole thing. Here's another red pine forest. So I guess some areas they do plant it. I just never noticed that before. I guess right now I'm actually looking for it. Here's another culvert. Got shoved up out of the ground. None of those were like that back in the fall. Area. All these pine trees that look like they're kind of dead. They'll be coming back very shortly. They're covered in buds right now. My tamarack trees are already opening into little needles. It's cool to watch the needles get longer as the year goes on. I don't think they were planted because you see most of them are only on the edge of the road. It's just where they got the opportunity to grow, it looks like. But that creates a beautiful hedge, like when you come here in the summer. Another pipe. That one wasn't bad though. Yeah, in the summer, this will be like a beautiful hedge on each side of the road. Those are very thick, luscious trees when they grow in. Tamaracks, I haven't seen anything going wrong with them yet. A lot of the evergreen trees, as years go on, they keep growing thinner and thinner. More erratic weather. Like I look back at pictures of my property just from 4 years ago, The trees were so much better looking. Now they're becoming thin. You can see the house from further out in the woods than you could ever see before. Getting foggy up here. All these creaking noises are really annoying me, but I can't really do anything about them. Alright, we're not going to go any further because, actually, yeah, we can. So, anyways, that barrier used to be up here. I'm sure somebody with their truck just chained up to it and moved it out of the way because they wanted to come up here. And then you drive up here and there's a bridge with the broken deck is all broken. Something fell through it at some point because it's pretty rotten. Years ago I was showing that bridge and it was carpenter ants all over inside the timbers. But those bridges usually have metal I-beams underneath the deck, so it's not like you're gonna completely fall into the river, but you could probably get stuck in the bridge, and that's what I believe happened to someone up here. The first time I came up here, I believe I had to back up quite a ways, but now there's actually like a little turnaround area from so many people coming down here now that block is moved. I don't know what's making that annoying noise. It literally can't see. Yeah, here it is. That's the bridge right there. See, there's more barriers in the way of it because the deck is completely destroyed. Well, the first time I came down here, I had to back up. Then there was another time. Yeah, this was never here before. There's actually a little spot you can pull in just from so many people running over the bushes. It's nice. A good place to actually turn around now. Alright, we'll start on our way back. And there could still be moose. They're wandering around. Hope we can get one. It's just the way luck goes. See a bunch of moose, and as soon as you start the camera up, you don't see a single thing. But I did get those other moose on camera. It just wasn't going continuously like this as we were exploring. There's like a little sinkhole right there, I just realized, on that culvert. Now I'm gonna be going to bed soon. I'm tired. Been on the road a long time today. Culverts, you cannot see them coming up because they're rusted. They blend right in with the road. Time for the off-road light. There's a little bit of sunset up there still. You see way in the distance, it's bright red, like a bright red dot. not the same one, but still a good thing I slowed down for it. I think it's coming up now, because that was right after it, I believe. These things come up out of nowhere. Definitely don't want to be doing the speed limit on this road. The posted speed limit on this one is 40, but obviously that sign is from when this road was in top-notch condition. It's not even 2 lanes anymore. Just a couple years ago, I remember roads like this exact road used to be able to get up to like 50 miles an hour on it. Not anymore. Alright, slowly go over this again. Gotta do it slowly, because that's how you break things. Those abrupt holes. Here we go. Alright, there's a few more little dips, but nothing else I think that's that bad. Because if you hit that at full speed, it's not going to be too good. Mile 3. 3 miles back to the interchange, about 2, maybe 3 miles back to another road I want to try to go down. It might be very muddy, we'll see. But I think we'll make it. Went down it back in the fall, wasn't able to do it then because it was becoming icy out. Another pipe, got a little hole near it, but I don't think that's related to the pipe. I think it's just a pothole forming. That fog is kind of pretty. In the fog, can't see stuff. Getting longer. It's now 8:15 and the sun is still out a little bit. Ooh, that tree around the corner scared me. What? Grouse bird. Is that what that first one was earlier? It just landed there. something different. Okay, here's some erosion. Different erosion than I was thinking of. Still gotta go through it a little slow. Not bad. That was a pretty big hole on the right side. This, I think, is the erosion area now. Giant dip right here in the road where water was rushing across. Here we are. Look at all that erosion. This was a little riverbed. And it's not necessarily the spring thaw's fault. There's a crushed pipe that's supposed to be handling this, and it's been unrepaired for years. Look at that, I can't even drive left. It's so deep there, that ditch. Used to drive down that road. Wouldn't make it now. None of that stuff seemed as bad on the way back than it did going out. Another pipe got pushed up by a frost heave. Gotta be careful. That pipe doesn't have too much rugged metal, but somewhere on this road in years past there was some pipe I always looked out for running it over because it was sharp metal on part of it, because it was torn by the grader a little bit in the center of the road. Actually, now that it's fall, I can actually see the lake a little bit glimmering through the woods. Oh wow. Let me put the window down to hear this. Listen to that. So many tree frogs. There's a swamp next to us. That's nice. That we've had good uncloggings at in the past. I wonder if those ribbons, any of those are mine. Don't remember. Haven't used pink in a while. probably not. I think last season we were using orange. I gotta get some blue tape on hand at some point. Blue will tell them that areas are prone to flooding, or it's something related to that. You can also put it near Beaver problems, so it'll be resolved. Roads feel like they take forever when you're starting to get tired. But I know exactly where I want to camp for the night. Getting close to the interchange. We'll be getting back onto the main artery. Those ribbons there, I think, are definitely mine. Yeah, I think those were. Interchange. The road condition will get slightly better. Camera can see a lot better through this than I can in person. The fog's a lot worse when you're in person. I like how the fog rolls in and out so quickly like that. Alright, just went through the interchange. Now we're on a more main road. This one is still very active for logging. That's the first road we took at the beginning of the video. Then we're gonna come by that road, the Bear Road, where we came out and had to do the sharp turn, drive for another couple of miles, and we're gonna take a road that's usually pretty muddy. We'll see how bad it is. Hopefully we'll get to see a couple moose. very dark section of woods, very pretty. So, yep, here we are. This is where we came out before. The loggers around here call that the Bear Road. Used to be a lot of bears hanging out there since there was a transfer station down there that bears used to always hang out at. For a while, it was a tourist attraction. They'd go there and take pictures of bears until they said it was too unnatural letting bears go through the garbage, so that's closed now. Here's a pretty bad washout. They'll fix it soon. Mud season's just about over. Once these roads dry up a little bit, they're gonna come out here with a grader and fix it all. And that other road, that bad one where all the pipes were, that we were just driving down a little bit ago, they do have to fix that one even though they're not logging it. There's a free state campground down there. No, I don't think that one's free actually. I think that's an honor pay system. But still, because that exists, they are gonna have to fix that road. It'll be fixed soon. Go around a very sharp corner, it'll be our road right after that. I'm just happy this road's in good condition. I'm able to keep the speed limit just about. Just gotta be careful of deer. Turn. I look at this area and I don't understand why it doesn't go straight. But water was definitely crossing here. That's what those ruts are from. Yeah, don't understand why it doesn't go straight. Sometimes that hairpin turn, the log trucks will speed around it. On this road, they're not supposed to be going more than 25. Alright, we're turning down a different road. Let's see how bad this will be. There's been times during mud season, I turned around, it was too scary looking, the mud. Then there's another little road. Oh, bunny rabbit, did you see that? There's another road up here I'm going to turn down, which gets even worse. There's a tree down there. No one's fixed that yet. Oop. I believe it's along this hill where it was very rutted up. Nope, not that much mud. Mud season's about to be over. the roads don't have any more frost inside them, that's basically when mud season's over. I think tomorrow when we start driving to far northern Maine, I believe we'll probably see some snow banks at least, still on the edges of the road. It's still a little bit muddy. Not bad at all, though. Alright. So this is still active, what I'm on right now. They will be logging it again once this road gets more firm. But this is the bad road. They actually did improvements on it a few years ago. Slight improvements. Don't know why. They haven't used it for anything. Now it's a deep puddle. Now, there's some areas the culverts are gone, so the water's just trickling right down the road. It has no way to get to the drainage ditch. Drainage ditches are just about non-existent. Here's a very messed up culvert pipe. It's all, oh, you hear it crunching like a piece of, it's junk. But at least it's plastic and it's not all sharp metal. This road. And it's gone. Yep, a lot of water's been going down this road, I can tell. That's why it's so bumpy and rocky. The water washes away all the soil and sand and just leaves rocks behind. Makes it very bumpy. Whoa! I just got pulled into that rut. Yep, this road got a little bit worse than last year. Another culvert pipe right here. Don't think it's functioning. I think the water just goes down the road. Ooh, we're sinking. Might need to end up using the four-wheel drive up here. We got a blue ribbon hanging. Yep, culvert destroyed. Can you see? You can't see it. We're about to drive through a big puddle. The hood's in the way. Here, I can tell a bunch of water's been going down it. Drainage ditch is not functioning. And this right here is where they did a lot of road improvements a few years ago. That's why it's a bit wider. You can tell they trimmed it. And this is where the road improvement, it stopped right here. I hear some more frogs, just a few of them. Before, when I rolled the window down, there was so many of them, it was like just a steady blaring noise. But I think that's nice. I like hearing that. Opening the windows at home and just falling asleep to frogs making lots of noises. By other people's tracks, they sunk a lot worse. They drove through it when it was a much worse day. And today rained a lot. But rain, it can create some mud, but it doesn't extend mud season. Another culvert pipe coming up out of the road. It's getting very narrow. Trying throughout this whole video to make these noises stop. I just can't figure out what's making them. It's probably annoying me more than anyone else. Probably because I'm getting tired, getting a little more irritable. But I'm gonna stop in like a half hour and sleep. Came back much worse. Now the fog is getting worse. And it's gone. standing there. Interchange. I think we're most likely to see something if we go this way. And this is the road I think I'm going to sleep on tonight. It's probably a good 6 miles up here or so. And that's where I'll park for the night. A couple parking spaces next to a swamp. came along faster than I thought. So this is the main road that they're now using for logging, and it will eventually, we just made a big circle basically. If I kept going straight, half an hour down the road, half a mile down the road to the right would be that tight road I took with all the flooding. Now this road should have a nice parking space coming up, I think 5 minutes down the road. And this road's a lot smoother because they're using it a lot for logging. Probably in the next month they'll start sending trucks down here again. This is incredibly smooth compared to the last one. This erosion here is water crossing over it. We're gonna sleep, yeah. And there's like a trail here hunters always use because it goes into a big swamp where moose hang out. So I think we're gonna stop here for the night. I hope today's video was interesting, everyone. Thanks for watching and have a great night.